Hey everyone, it's Andy. Before this episode starts, I just wanted to check in about the podcast in general and how this is episode 496, not 497, like we say at the beginning. We did end up losing episode 496, where we talked about the 4K 1977 Star Wars, Vampire Crawlers, a bit more, my thoughts on that versus Loop Hero, the Steam Deck, the Steam Controller, and the return of F1. All that got jumbled up and messed up, and it's been personally and a little bit professionally a difficult May and June, and so we're trying to get things back on track. Hopefully all the issues are sorted out now, and we're good to go going forward. So thank you so much for the patience and understanding, and hopefully this episode isn't too jarring since there's missing one in between, but life moves on. Because I'm sure in the middle of this episode 497 of We Were Gamers, I'm going to have to stop and either celebrate loudly or as the game is currently going, be very depressed that the Ducks will be down 3-2 to the Golden Knights.
Oh, that's right. Anaheim is playing right now to not go into a hole.
Anaheim is tied 2-2 in the series. They're down 2-1 in Game 5. Our Orange County boys are fighting for their lives, but it's tough, man. It's tough to win on the road in general, and it's tough to win on the road 5 games in.
And 2 in a row, right? They stole one the other night.
Yeah, man, it's back and forth and back and forth. So we'll see, but back and forth and back and forth, you eventually lose in Game 7. You know,
that is how those numbers work. Unfortunately,
the math does math. Yeah.
Yep. Well, we'll update that in a bit while Michael updates us on how far he is in Invincible so far.
So I'm, I guess, 25% of the way through it now. 8 episodes. I'm 2 episodes in. And very much enjoyed the second episode. It cuts away from Earth, and we get a glimpse of what those wacky kids Nolan and Alan are up to.
All right.
But it does a very amusing send up of Star Trek.
Oh, where you finally kind of meet the quote unquote Federation of Planets.
No, the two of them are off on a scavenger hunt, and the vessel that they are in is less than seaworthy, let's say.
Okay. I watched Invincible with the wife.
Yep.
And we have not started personally. JJ, I know you're done.
Yep.
With season 4. But I have read Invincible multiple times all the way through. So unless they change things, I kind of know where you're at. They're spoilers. They're off looking for weapons that are in Nolan's books.
Yes, to fight the Viltrumites.
Yeah. Some very good ones in there. I don't know if they had it in episode 2, but did you meet the Lobo knockoff?
I sure did.
I don't think. Was he in episode 2? Yes, he was in episode 2. What am I saying?
Michael, you tell us what he is. Because I don't want to spoil it if you don't know who we're talking about.
Why am I blanking on his name? The one with the invincible laser.
Speed.
I don't know any of their names because they say their name once and then never again in the show.
Space Racer.
There you go.
It's Space Racer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always confuse him with Speed Racer.
Yes, you want him to be Speed Racer. Space Racer, yes.
Yeah. Space Racer with the gun that just,
vaporizes everything.
Shoots forever.
Well, it's called the Infinity Ray for a reason.
Yeah. But in the same episode, you also get the backstory of why there are so few Viltrumites left.
Okay.
Yeah, so
you know about the purge. Yeah.
Yes.
And then and then the virus or whatever it was.
The virus. Yep.
And then they had the only the strong will survive Highlander moment. Weird.
Michael,
Yeah.
do you know what the Scourge's deal is? I don't remember if they told you that in that episode or not.
They get into it at the very end. So the guy who's pulling the, again, what's his name? The Grand Regent, was that his name?
Yes.
You find out
which Grand Regent are we talking about?
the Grand Regent who is a Viltrumite, the betrayer.
The guy who's running the Federation.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Not
Andrew, I know who you're talking about. Hold on. Not in this episode.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so at the end of episode 2, you find out that that he, along with his science team, developed the Scourge and sent it to Viltrum.
Yeah, so I didn't know the order that stuff got revealed in the comics, Andy, but they do tell you that pretty quick on from finding out that it happened.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Man, stuff happens so fast in the Viltrumite War. Man, and then oh god, you got to finish the series, dude.
But you they do, Andy, to your question, which I think is what you were going to ask. You do get a tease at the very end of the episode of the other Grand Region.
Oh, you do.
Were you going to ask about Thrag?
Oh, so you did meet Thrag.
They introduce him right at the end of the episode.
Okay. Well, Thrag also has an unhealthy relationship to the Purge, and
yeah, they get into that later. He's not there yet, Andy.
Yes, that they have not.
There's even more. There's even more.
Yeah. Okay.
And Andy, yes, the end of this season is maybe what you think, given that they're doing the Viltrumite stuff, which is hilarious to me. Where the season ends. So I'm very excited for Michael to get there so we can talk about it.
Yeah. There's. I think okay. I don't know. I haven't looked at where it ends.
And Michael, you are explicitly banned from looking up Invincible memes until you get to the end of this because it's being memed on to high heaven right now.
Okay.
Okay, then I know where it ends. If there's lots of memes, I know where it ends.
I know you knew, Andy.
Well, no,
there's no way it couldn't have been this.
Well, there's. I don't want to spoil things for you. There's another moment or two that I could think of that would be good, but this is kind of like a Matrix 2 ending. Is where I'm guessing they ended it. And that's fine.
Yeah. So anyway, Michael, you got to watch more and we'll talk about it when you get there.
As with previous seasons, the more I watch, the more I want to watch. So it will be, the train is picking up steam.
Yeah. Speaking of ending things in a weird place, that Gundam movie, JJ.
So I'm pretty sure, I didn't read the production history on this, but I'm pretty sure this is just like they took the first third of the anime and like cut it up and made it.
So these are cut downs. Yeah. They're OVA cut downs.
And they made it into like a 2-hour movie out of
correct.
The whatever, how many 24 hours or whatever of probably less than 20, right? Probably like 13 episodes of less than 30 minutes. So 5 minutes an episode or something.
Let's see. Mobile Suit Gundam season 1 was how many
episodes? It's a lot of episodes.
43 episodes, and they split that into 3 movies. Yeah. So 43 divided in half, right? Well, let's say 20 minutes because does it only cover season 1, those 3 movies? No. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I didn't know. I thought there's there's 2 or 3 seasons of that show, and I thought maybe it covered all of the seasons.
Mobile
Suit
Gundam?
Wrong about that.
Mobile Suit Gundam has 1 series, I believe.
I thought there were 70 episodes, but maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I think if you add in all the Amuro, all the Amuro Char stuff, it gets really up there into like the hundreds of episodes.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Because like the original Mobile Suit Gundam is split amongst many shows in terms of like RX-78 and Char going at it. Sorry, RX-78 2
Yes.
going at it with Amuro at the seat and all that sort of stuff. Does last quite a while, but did I inadvertently inspire a watch along where we discuss all these things?
Maybe. I saw you were like, oh, I'm going to rewatch, I'm going to watch this. Had you never seen it before?
I've never seen the movie before. I watched the show 15 years ago.
Yeah, same. That was kind of, I watched, when I first started on an anime kick, people were like, you should watch Gundam. And then I watched all those.
Sure. I watched Gundam Wing and then I was like, ooh, what other Gundam is out there? And then I went to the anime store and bought things in Japanese.
Gundam feels like a very common on-ramp for people, and especially in the States.
Andy, if you were doing that, Wing was when we were in high school, right? So you would have... Were you doing that in college? Because that's more than 15 years ago, bud.
Oh, shoot, dude. That's like 18
Yeah.
ago.
Close to,
almost
getting closer
20.
to 20.
Yeah.
All right. So 20 years ago. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Time does march forward.
Oh, it sure does. So 20 years ago is a good excuse to be like, you know what? It's probably time to like rewatch a summary of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
And since, like you and I both had the experience at Comic-Con where it was like, you know what? Gundam Models was really fun. And I don't know why I didn't keep up with it.
Totally.
So, I'm very slowly working on a real grade RX-78 too. And I'm not in a hurry to work on it. And I know you're working on a lot of Wing EW stuff.
Yeah. So I have now 5 of my 6 total models built.
Very nice.
4 of the EW ones. So the Wing Zero, the Altron, the Death Scythe Hell, and then Heavy Arms Custom EW. And then I have Tall Geese 1 EW, which I don't think actually ever shows up in that anime. But anyway.
Tall Geese EW?
Yeah,
it's isn't it in there? I think it's in there because
I think you get Tall Geese 3, right? Oh no, does it show up like very early on and then just like gets blown up?
It gets busted up and then you get Epion.
No, that's in Wing. That's not the EW model.
Oh, that's Tall Geese 2 turns into Epion in the show.
No, in the show there's like Tall Geese 1, 2, 3, and then Epion.
No, because Tall Geese 1, it's either Tall Geese 1 or Tall Geese 2 that ends up being Epion. And then they're like, Epion has the same. This is, oh my God, we're so nerdy, dude.
This is deep Zero lore. My point is, Andy, none of that happens.
The same problem as Wing
Zero, Wing Zero,
Double Zero, where it f's up the pilot, and so they abandon Epion at the end of the show, and that's why Tall Geese comes back.
But all of that is in the show. None of that is in Endless Waltz, where all these models are from.
Right.
That's my point, is that Tall Geese EW, the Endless Waltz version, doesn't exist in the show.
JJ, I need you to pick up your phone.
Okay.
Live on this podcast, my wife has just texted you what we saw driving back from Vegas this past weekend.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. Dude, people are, man, that's cool as hell.
She took it because I was driving.
It's like a puzzle piece theme. That's crazy, dude.
It is the side of a full-blown tractor trailer. It is the cab of a tractor trailer.
Yep.
And the side of it is Wing Zero from Endless Waltz with the feathery wings from the opening.
Oh, I like it.
Painted across the entire side of a semi-truck.
Tip of the cap to you, sir.
But like the body armor is done as like jigsaw pieces. It's crazy. That's like really cool.
It's wild, right? I stared at that for a while. And then people in the car with me were like, what is that? And I was like, oh, let me tell you. That is piloted by Hiro Yui.
And then 40 minutes later, people were like, okay, Andy, time for
I'm
bed.
sorry I asked.
Oh man, poor Hiro.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
Wing is a great on ramp anyway for people, even though it's wild. But Mobile Suit Gundam is more of the 1970s, 80s, early anime reflection into. Well, it's the beginning, I think, of anime reflection into Japan's post-war culture, right? Much as Godzilla is a reflection on nuclear energy and all those types of things, Japan's previous warring culture, I would say,
yeah,
for
there's
lack of a better
definitely
word.
there's a lot of grappling with like what does it mean to wage war? What is the cost of war on the people committing the war and the civilians?
Very focused on the damage to civilians, as I think the country really reeled for the 30 years afterwards with what they did to their populace by fighting so hard and so long.
Yeah. And the evil imperial state versus the good guy allied federation or whatever even still comes off, even the people on the good guy side don't seem that great, it's
the
really
good guy side is definitely not great, especially in that first movie where you're like, the Gundam
they're
and
kind of throwing us out here to the wolves to die.
So I don't know if you've seen Mobile Suit Gundam, Michael, but like the first 20 minutes, you realize that like the amazing weapon, the savior of an entire federation, they're like, what if it was just like a distraction?
Oh, okay.
What if like maybe we were working on other Gundams and we just need to throw this cool prototype to the wolves and let this kid pilot it and all these refugees pilot this cool ship and they could just the weapon's good enough that they'll survive long enough to distract the enemy. Wild.
Just leave them out there, whatever, they'll figure it out.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, wild. I mean, for an 80s cartoon, barely 80s.
Yeah, early 80s, right? Late 70s.
Yeah. Way better than I remembered, actually. And maybe that's from watching the movie and cutting out all the fluff.
So the thing I have read, and who knows, I haven't gone back. There are a lot of characters who are introduced, and you're like, oh, okay, you meet these people, and they're like little side characters in the movie who show up for a minute here or there. But my memory is a lot of those characters get story arcs in the anime, which obviously aren't here.
You mean like the guy piloting the gun tank who doesn't have a story?
Sure. Yep. Him. A bunch of those kids.
Yeah.
Frau.
All the refugees that are running around the ship. Yeah.
Yeah. You learn more what's up with the pilot lady. You learn more what's up with, all the people really get more, which obviously is going to be the case when they have, 20 hours more of runtime.
Sure. I mean, this is BSG, where you only focus on Admiral Adama.
Right. Yeah. You just got to cut out every character that isn't him, and you only see where he intersects with every character. Right. And this is the Amuro Ray and versus Zeon in this one, I'll say. And then I think we're going to get a little bit more of Amuro versus Char in the following movies.
Yeah, I think so for sure. Because the Char thing early on, and I didn't remember this because I think later on Char becomes a little bit unstable is kind of the point. But early on, Char is like a hero, kind of, where you kind of wonder a little bit, like, is Zeon the good guy? Like, once you find out what the Federation is doing, holding Amuro out there to try and like distract people and possibly that they just die, you're like, is Char the good guy? Like, I don't.
There's definitely some implication that maybe he's like not that bad of a guy. He feels bad for his troops. He like doesn't order them out there to die. He wants to go avenge them. Like.
And then the slow.
Then you're introduced to everyone else in Zeon, and you're like, wait, never mind.
The slow devolvement of his character too, as he gets. I mean, he's what is he? He's like royalty basically. he's above the system as he starts, right? He's a hero. He's good looking. He's all the things that keep him above the system. And he just slowly gets churned into the war machine after the Gundam defeats him again and again and again. And his entire attitude changes. And that really, I think, was the part of the anime that stuck with me and what I'm looking forward to watching the second and third movie.
Yeah, it should be good stuff.
But, yeah, it's cool. It leads to even cooler stuff, which is why I'm rewatching it. I don't know if you also plan to go with me, but I am sticking to. I'm going to just watch the entire UC timeline in order. However way I can do that.
That'll be Gundam 1, Mobile Suit Gundam 1, 2, 3, Char's Counterattack, and
Char's Revenge?
Is there another one? I don't remember. Then there's like Zeta Gundam, and then Double Zeta.
Oh, okay, here we go. You ready?
Gets way off the end at that point. I don't remember anymore.
All right, here we go. Mobile Suit Gundam.
Feel like Kingdom Hearts naming.
It does get like that, yes, Michael.
Yeah.
Turn A?
Okay, so there's Gundam. Then there's
that's
Gundam.
What we're watching now.
Yeah, then there's Gundam Soldiers of Sorrow. If you watch it in year order instead of release order, then we've got Gundam Igloo 1, 2, 3.
Okay, yeah, I don't know about that. I'm gonna do that, but we'll see.
Gundam 08 MS Team, arguably the best Gundam show ever written.
Not arguable in my opinion, but yes.
Gundam Crisis, Gundam Boa Q, Gundam War in the Pocket, also very high up there in terms of Gundam shows.
War in the Pocket might be my number 2. Really good.
Yeah. Gundam Stardust Memory, Zeta Gundam, Gundam Green Divers, Gundam Double Zeta, Gundam Moon Gundam, Gundam UC Engage.
Okay.
Those last two I'd never heard of. I guess they are. I guess they're like YouTube shorts or something.
Okay.
But they fit in somewhere. We finally get to Char's Counterattack. Then Unicorn Gundam, which to me is the most out of order Gundam of all time. Because have you seen a picture of Unicorn Gundam, JJ?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Unicorn Gundam
Very
is
modern.
Wild looking. It looks like something that would come from like, I don't know, Gundam.
The year 2532.
25, yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's in place at all. And then Gundam Hathaway.
Okay, I have seen Hathaway. That was a good movie. That's on Netflix.
And then there's now the new Hathaway coming, right?
Yes.
In 2026 at some point. Sorcery of Nymph Circle or whatever it is.
The Sorcery of the Nymph Circe.
Circe. Okay. I was doing that one off my head, top of my head.
Because
we saw it at the
Greek pronunciation thing, yeah.
Well, no, I was just doing it off the top because I remembered it from our Comic-Con experience. And then you have the G Savior Victory Gundam, whatever is later. The like 25-year later show.
Got you.
This feels like where you cue Bubba. That's about all a Gundam there is.
No, because there's actually like 5 million more that are just not related at all.
Michael, you didn't hear me say we're only watching the Universal Century.
Oh, okay.
And I actually know of a couple Universal Century shows that you didn't mention in there because there's the Netflix series Requiem.
Requiem's Universal Century?
Yeah, sure is.
Uh-oh. It's not on my timeline.
And then I think... No, wait, that one might be one of the offshoots.
There's also compilation movies that you got to watch out for because they basically repeat the same thing as OVAs.
Yeah, that's very possible. Requiem is a remake of something, I know.
Okay.
So I don't know which one it is a remake of.
Gotcha.
But also, Andy, after watching some of this, you are then in line that you could watch G-Quux because G-Quux is a alternate telling of some of the stuff that we have already seen.
Oh. But that's not in the UC.
Correct. It is not the same timeline.
It's some sort of branch from original Gundam.
Yeah, people are in that show.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so worth your consideration in the future.
Okay. Well, that was way too much about Gundam. So we should get even more idiosyncratic and talk about your new controller and specifically thumbsticks.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, we want to hear all about this.
Before, I'm just going to give you a little break, Andy. The score is tied. It's going to overtime.
I didn't want to mention it. I'm too excited.
I was amazed at your professionalism to not even break when that happened.
I was too excited.
So I talked about it. I have in my possession a Steam controller. Yay! Cue the cool sound effects. So I have notes. I want to know what you guys want to know. So I will talk to what you're interested in. Hopefully the audience learns stuff. Get at me. What do you guys want?
So Andy had a topic list, so you go, guy.
Michael, you also use controllers. Don't make me ask all the questions.
No.
All right, here's my list of 25 questions.
Well, I guess start with the thumbsticks.
Okay, background. Michael and I have a Steam Deck.
Yes.
Correct.
A Steam controller takes the screen off the Steam Deck and makes a controller out of it. Not essentially, but in spirit.
It has the same input options as a Steam Deck does.
In spirit. First thing that came to my mind, though, was the big news that the thing that I dislike most about the Steam Deck, which I love the most maybe about the Elite controller, maybe that JJ was frustrated by or not, was the Elite controller has a lot of variability that you can introduce into the stiffness and reactivity of its thumbsticks.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Steam Deck used the cheapest MHDA thumbsticks they could find.
And they're not even Hall Effect? That's interesting. I thought that they were.
They are not Hall Effect. They are MHDA sticks.
Wow. Okay.
They are cheap and they feel cheap to me, and squishy and slow and non-reactive. It's the thing I like least about the Steam Deck.
Interesting. So the Steam controller has what are called TMR joysticks, which is tunneling magnetoresistance.
Sorry, I need to clarify. The OLED Steam Deck does have Hall effects because most people with our Steam Decks, Michael's and I, replaced the MHDAs as they got stick drift with Hall effect sensors, and they just changed it over when they made the OLED. But they changed it from the Hall effects to these ones, the TMRs.
In the controller or in the Steam Deck? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
No, I'm saying the Steam Deck went from MHDAs in the model that Michael and I have to Hall effects once they introduced the OLED.
Okay, got you.
But the controller has moved on from the Hall effects also.
Yes. So the important, like, for people who are like, we're already deep in the weeds here. Andy's using acronyms that I don't even know what MHDA stands for.
You know what?
But here's what's
fill
important.
Fill people in.
So
Okay.
There's like 3 major technologies in joystick controller input these days. There's the standard analog one that uses a resistor, and it has a little thing that rubs on top of the resistor, and that rubbing creates voltage, and that allows you to sense where the stick is. It uses 2 axes at the same time and, rubs across these little sensors, makes some voltage. They can tell by that voltage what you're doing with the stick. That gives you, joystick input. But notably, physical contact. It has to rub, right? Now, it doesn't rub very much. The materials are strong. It takes a long time. But eventually, that rubbing is going to wear off. And then that's how you get stick drift. So this is like standard analog stick like technology since the beginning of analog sticks.
Mm-hmm.
More recently,
since the ball stick, yeah.
And more recently, we're not talking arcade sticks here. We're talking controller joysticks. More recently, in the last 5 years, I guess I'll say, this Hall effect sensor was developed. No contact, notably. So really important advancement, right? And Hall effect takes advantage of the Hall effect, which uses magnetic fields to detect voltage change, right? So there's a little thing on top of a sensor that don't touch each other, but as the magnet swings back and forth, the change in that magnetic field affects the voltage in the sensor, and that they can use that same thing to detect, what you're doing with the stick. Those components don't have to touch, which is super big deal.
Yeah.
Right? Lowers the amount of stick drift. Now, people will tell you
it
that
makes it non-existent.
Well, so this is where it comes.
No.
People will tell you that because there is a magnetic field involved and those parts, there are other metal pieces in your controller and other various things, it is still somewhat, because the measurement of that magnetic field is the thing that's important. It's potentially over a long period of time, depending on the type of magnet they're using and things like this, it could become less sensitive. There's no wear out, right? So if you get drift, it's drift in a different way. Maybe due to the plastics wearing out or things like that, but not necessarily the sensor becoming less good, which is good. This is a huge improvement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the next technology, the one here that the Steam controller employs, is called TMR, or tunneling magnetoresistance. This is also not a new technology. This is like a thing that was developed in the 90s for magnetic hard drives, apparently.
To keep the drive from scratching on itself, huh?
Yeah, so it's a technology that's existed, but was, you needed sort of a much bigger thing and a much more power. But
Sure.
recent invention has miniaturized these sensors to really, really small and notably really, really low power, which is so that's the other thing, is that Hall effect sensors require power to those magnets, right? Like you got to give them charge or else they can't, they're not just they're not installing lodestones into these things, right?
They're not rare earth magnets. They're electrically generating magnetic field.
Exactly. And you could break that wire or whatever, who knows, a bunch of stuff could happen, right? But these TMR sensors don't need that because the magnet is in the thing that's on the sensor, not on the thing that moves anymore. And so you need even less power, and it's measuring a change in resistance instead of a change in voltage. Now that's you can get into the weird physics of this. It's like you have two magnetic layers and an insulator in between, and it's using quantum mechanics to check things that move in between these resistance layers. Anyway, that's the science behind how it works. But the result is it doesn't have to touch, right? Which is the big thing. And the piece on top doesn't need to have wires or anything connected to it because it's just the bottom sensor that's measuring these changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, that effect that it measures is much stronger and able to be sensed at much higher precision than the Hall effect can be. And that's just a nature of the technology. It's more sensitive. And so you have potential greater range of input. Now, are they going to map that? Is your 50,000th decimal place going to matter here? I don't know. But the sensors that come out of this are typically, the TMR ones that I've seen on the market are higher precision than the Hall effect ones, which I'm sure matters to someone who's playing a bunch of shooters, which is not me, to be clear.
It's not you, but at the same time, upgrading technology across the board is not a bad thing. I mean,
absolutely not. And they are absolutely lower power, which means your battery life is going to go way up.
Things like Hollow Knight, even more precision is going to be better.
No one is going to argue it's worse, right? And the other thing, so Andy was asking about the feel here. The Steam controller itself, compared to the Elite, I have the Xbox Elite 2. That thing is heavy.
The Elite 2?
Yes.
Okay.
The weight of that controller is heavy. The Steam controller is much lighter.
Really? It looks bigger and heavier.
It is bigger, but it is lighter.
Plastic.
Interesting. Yeah, they took all the weight out of it.
There's a battery in there, all this kind of stuff. But the Elite has like a bunch of metal and stuff. There's no metal in this thing.
I was just about to say there's a lot of metal on the Elite, especially the thumbsticks, so they don't wear out.
Yeah, so I can't, I can't tell you the difference, but the thumbsticks feel, I would say, the setting I had them on the Elite is a little bit tighter, I would say, than the Steam Deck feels to me by default here.
And Steam Deck does not have an adjustable tension, correct? Like the
no,
Elite
it does not. No, it does
Which
not.
Which makes sense to me because the stick is not grabbing onto anything, so how would it have tension?
Right. You have, there would have to be some kind of mechanism in it or whatever, but there is not. So the sticks are a bit looser in that regard, but there's also configurable dead zone controls within Steam Input. So if you really want to get into it, you can like zero the dead zone, in whatever weird way you want to do it. And also you have access to the trackpads, which I have found to be very accurate.
Okay, so the trackpads, Michael, how often do you use your trackpads?
Intentionally or inadvertently? I'm trying to think. Is there something that I consistently use them for? Not really.
Yeah, never.
I don't know if it's just what I'm. Well, it's probably what I'm playing that I just.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I have used them only in an emergency when trying to do, like stuff in the OS, and I just have no other use for them.
Yeah. So you know what, Andy? Ask me that question again when the new Professor Layton game comes out.
I'll try. I don't know if I'll have the memory for that kind of thing.
Put it in the notes now. Pin it to the bottom.
So I have at least tried this with a few different games that I normally play with mouse and keyboard.
Okay.
And I found the trackpads to be pretty darn good. The number one thing you can do via Steam Input, and I know you don't want to hear about this, but you can open that settings menu and configure everything any dang way you want, including turn the trackpads off so it doesn't matter if you touch them or not.
I don't want them off. I mean, I do want
if you're touching them accidentally, you should turn them off because you don't want them to mess you up.
Michael does, but I don't. I'm just saying. I don't know.
So the other thing is that the default layout of those controls for the mouse and keyboard games, it wanted to open radial menus and do some stuff, which I didn't find like super useful. But when you open that configuration menu, there's a tab. You can tab over to community options, and then there's a whole list of drop-down ones, which are ordered by playtime using the settings. Really, really smart. So how long has someone actually played using these settings? Oh, this one has 1,000 hours. This one has 15. I think I know which one I'm more interested in using, right?
Yeah.
And then, it's like, oh, here's a layout that someone did for this game, right? And they're game specific, so it doesn't have to take over your whole OS and change it completely or whatever.
Yep.
So when I launch that game, it sets up my controller that way, and then you can, make any other adjustments you want to. I saw someone, a tutorial on how to set up a game that doesn't support controller input at all. So they were playing Torchlight 2, Andy? You've heard of this? Yes?
Yeah, I've heard of Torchlight. They're on the 5th or 6th one now, but yeah, Torchlight.
Nope, they aren't. There haven't been any since 2.
I know.
Or 3. Sorry, 3 was the last one.
Yeah.
But, a mouse and keyboard game, like the old Diablos, right?
Yeah. But the old Diablos even have been reintegrated to become controller games. It's not that difficult.
Right, but he did this using the UI, right? That game doesn't support controllers at all.
Torchlight 3 definitely supported controllers.
I'm talking about Torchlight 2.
And it did not?
There's no controller integration in that game.
Okay.
No controller integration.
All right.
So he opens up the Steam Input UI and changes some settings related to the joystick to make the joystick act like a cursor. And you're like, okay, well, like, wouldn't the trackpads be better than that? Well, no, because the way you use a cursor, right, in that game is you're clicking around all the time, right, to make your guy move.
Yes.
Yep.
You can configure the joystick so that when you push it all the way to one side, it automatically registers a click.
There's also another really cool setting that I had never heard of before that they added on this, which is click on release.
Yep.
Oh, so when it snaps back to the middle?
Or like the back buttons, which are really easy to hold.
Oh,
if you're just holding it, nothing happens. But if you release it, it either hits the button or clicks or does something.
Every button is configurable this way. The joysticks, the trackpads, the stick button press, anything. They all have like a huge list of actions you can set. You want to, and when you move the joystick, how far does it move away from the character? You can change the lasso radius around the character that it's stuck to. All kinds of stuff. It's really, really wild. You could make it an oval instead of a circle, all kinds of stuff. So it's like extremely in depth. Now, how often am I going to do this? Truthfully,
don't know.
Probably never.
Infrequently, if at all.
Yeah. But it is extremely cool that it's possible. And if I, a guy who likes to go back and play some like really old PC games, can get that to work, I can play them with this controller in like a pretty good way. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. The arrangement of the back buttons has also changed versus the Steam Deck, and likely because the controller is much smaller, but the Steam Deck ones simultaneously are very large but also easy to avoid.
So what is the arrangement of those then? I was under the impression it was the same.
They're kind of large square pads towards the middle of the controller, still under the fingers, but like
you have to kind of intentionally reach for them. Like you're not gonna. I don't think I have at any point ever accidentally pushed one of those.
Yours are more like
they're near the grips.
Yours are on the grips, right? They're like circles that are on the grips.
They are definitely circles. I would not say that they are like on the grip part of the grips, because you can definitely hold it, or I can anyway with my hands, hold it without touching those buttons.
Okay.
But it is also just as easy to rest your fingers on them if you wanted to.
I find it very easy to rest my fingers on them and around them. Michael?
Yeah, I think they're very well placed.
I mean, they're kind of like an L shape that goes up the side, but also towards the back. And you kind of need to hit them in the corner, not directly on the side.
Yeah, so you would be using your
middle fingers
and middle fingers on these two buttons in the back of this controller. Notably and importantly, there's an option to disable them so you don't accidentally like click when you don't want to. But also notably, this controller has gyro aiming if you want it.
I don't use gyro on the deck.
Again, it is there for people that want it. I know there are some people who swear by this and like really love it for third-person shooting stuff. Games like Splatoon and stuff, people are like, this is the bee's knees or whatever.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it. I have never used it. It is there.
Michael,
also there, a thing that I also don't use, is there are stick actions that can be mapped to squeezing the handles. I have no idea how that works.
That's wild.
Yeah, what would you want that for?
No clue.
Michael, I've run out of my 20 questions. He's too efficient.
Your 20 questions? Oh, I mean, I don't know if I have.
So another comparison I'll give with the Elite controller, something that's probably important to some people, but not as important to me. The triggers. So there's a big thing for some people that like they want the shortest trigger throw possible, right? You want to be able to like click it
the
in.
Elite, I can click it in. I can't do that on the Steam Deck.
The Elite has configurable stick pull options. So you can like ratchet a thing up and down to like see how far you got to move the physical button to make it actuate.
Right.
Yep.
And on the lowest setting, I believe it disables the analog capability. So like you don't have analogs at all at the lowest setting. It's just like on or off. These do not have a way to do that. The sticks are, or the triggers are what they are. The distance is whatever it is. So not configurable in that way. A little bit of a minus, but again, I'm not really typically the multiplayer shooter guy, where that is the most useful when you're trying to ADS and fire as quickly as possible.
Sure.
That one I did notice pretty quickly because I was like used to only doing a certain amount of distance with my my trigger pull, and I was like, wait, I gotta
go all the way down.
Gotta honk it all the way, yeah. But so far, I'm very happy. The thing I will say that is really awesome, you guys need to go check the video on this. There is an Easter egg in this controller. Have you guys seen this yet?
No.
Or I'm not.
When you drop the controller, it makes the Wilhelm scream.
How can it tell?
I mean, how can I tell? You hear it with your ears.
No, how can it tell if it's like impact sensor or something?
It's got an accelerometer in it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it definitely does. Because how does the gyro stuff work, right?
Yeah.
So there's an accelerometer in there. I don't know exactly what you have to do to trigger it. But I did try it. I lifted it up over a nice soft surface.
Let it fall.
And dropped it from a fair height. Enough where you're like, okay, this is probably okay, but it's not super loud, but it does make it's a Wilhelm scream absolutely noticeably. Also, fun fact, there's no speaker on this thing. So how does it generate that scream?
Oh, there's a speaker inside of it somewhere.
There is not a speaker. No, people have done hardware teardowns. There are no speakers.
They're just not finding it. There has to be a speaker integrated somewhere. It can't just make noise out of nowhere.
No,
it's not making the noise. Yes, Michael is right. It's using the
noise.
It's using the mechanics of the rumble sensors to make the sounds.
Yeah, that's what that was going to be my guess, was that it's buzzing itself at the right frequency to imitate.
Yep. Apparently, there is the original Steam controller has something similar to this, where it would play the Star Spangled Banner. It was configurable apparently to some degree. But yeah, this one does do that, and I did try it. It is real. So people out there who are like, this is fake because it looks fake. It sounds fake. But nope, it's real. It does it. It's not super loud. The videos I heard it in, it was much louder than mine. But also I was dropping it onto a jacket on top of a bed. So
yeah, muffled, especially if it's going to be coming from a rumble pack. But
yeah,
no rumble features that I have found while playing Vampire Crawlers.
No, you're not getting the vibrations?
I don't know if I accidentally turned them off, but I don't have any, no.
Yeah, I don't remember.
How's
it going there, bud?
Strong statement time?
Sure.
Yeah, lay it on us.
Takes the best parts of Vampire Survivors and makes a better game.
Okay.
I mean, it really does.
Why better?
Despite it feeling somewhat more random, the attitude the game seems to have for not just punishing you with the inability to deal enough damage seems lower. Oftentimes I think to myself at the end of a stage, maybe I should have played another X damage spinach or something on a turn I wasn't going to take damage, and I would have won or something like that, instead of well, there's just nothing I can do, I didn't get blank.
Yeah, it's fairly forgiving, and the way you get screwed is if you get your deck too big and you're like, I need to draw a card, whatever, and then you just like, no armor this turn, I'm dead. But even then you're like, well, I could have just like not taken that or re-rolled that upgrade or banished this other thing or whatever. And like it feels like you have a lot more control, right?
A little bit. Well, it doesn't feel like I have a ton of control over what cards show up. And sometimes I get upgrades for cards when I have no slots open, and it's like reroll. That's all upgrades. Also, I guess I take $200, and that feels really bad.
The $200 is pretty good though.
Yeah, fair enough.
Until you get some of the until you get one of those really ludicrous overkill times where you make like 5,000 gold off of killing one enemy. $200 is pretty good. Like you can buy several upgrades or a couple new crawlers with that early on, right?
Yeah. It's time for me to buy my next crawler. I think next when I leave this chat and I go play the game.
I will say I saw credits in this game today or yesterday.
What?
Okay.
There are credits in this game.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like it is a more complete understanding of what makes a full game, right? Like, okay, here's the achievableness of it versus the just sort of endless cookie clickerness of the previous game.
There definitely is less than Vampire Survivors now has like 800 billion achievements or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of absurd.
And this game does not. It has a fairly attainable list. I think my Steam playtime is like 20 something hours. And you know, probably 2 or 3 of those was me leaving it on, not playing. You know? So this game is not that long. I don't have everything done. There's still like 3 or 4 achievements I don't have. But it's very achievable stuff. And like some of the end game relics that you get are just like, you know, did I not get 30,000 gold on this run? What am I even doing? That's like child's play.
Sure.
So I'm very curious to see. I know people out there are like, here's how to farm 2 million gold in one run. And I'm like, I don't even know how that could possibly happen. So,
or why you need it. Why do you need 2 million gold?
Oh, there's reasons. You'll see.
Oh, no. There's always something more.
Yeah, I don't know if you have. So you've obviously started unlocking some of the upgrades, right?
I have, yeah. But
the
there's a whole half of the room of upgrades that have empty pedestals, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have you unlocked a new place in the village yet?
I have a lot of places in the village.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the inn where you pick your crawlers.
Got it. Uh-huh.
Is there one next to that?
I don't have my deck in front of me.
A tent?
No tent.
A blacksmith?
Nope.
So again, there's things that are out there.
Yeah.
That do things that you have to spend a lot of money on.
I keep dying to the last boss on the inlaid library, and so I can't move on.
Dying? Bro, what are you doing?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Get some armor cards.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but maybe I'm not playing enough armor, I guess. I keep trying to lean in. I keep trying to lean into her ability because I switched to Esmeralda, and I'm like, oh, I just want yellow cards all the time. Try and level up, get more cards, but maybe I'm too far.
Yellow cards are really good for like, you know, increasing your stats, right? Because that's kind of what they all do.
Mm-hmm.
But your stats don't really win the fight by themselves. Kind of need to do other stuff.
Yeah,
red cards, notably. Yeah. I found.
I really need that thing that shows me the upgrade paths.
So you should be pretty close to that. I don't know where. I don't remember where that is. One of the things have it. You should make sure that you clear levels that are open to you. You know, get one run through every level because you'll find relics in there, even if you don't beat the boss, and those will be very helpful.
Fair enough. But I don't know. I think Vampire Survivors to me was a revelation in so much as like roguelikes don't have to just be one thing. But Vampire Crawlers is like more, deck builders don't have to be one thing, and deck builders really expanded with Balatro quite a bit. And this took concepts from another game and really rewrote them, and that's really cool, I think.
I do think it is very interesting the way that they have done very clearly a Vampire Survivors, right? But also very clearly a Balatro or Slay the Spire at the same time somehow.
Mash them together in ways that just kind of work.
Totally.
Yeah, and less Michael, you kind of Slay the Spire 1, right?
A little bit.
Slay the Spire 1 is like, I know what I'm going to do before I get there. I know if I see these 3 cards early on, I'm just going to lean into this or that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is much more like, every card is an opportunity to understand what this game's really about.
Certainly by the back half, I had preferences, right? It was like, okay, I see these options here, and I'm automatically hitting reroll. I don't want any of these, right? But certainly in the beginning, it's kind of like you can make anything work. There's a lot of the most important thing, right? Is you got to keep your mix of 0, 1, and 2 cards really good. Like, do not over-index.
3 cards don't feel like they're any good.
They get really good later. You get the 3s, 4s, and 5s when you get more mana, which is an upgrade you can buy for a lot of gold.
Some cards like copy or return to your hand work ways that you don't expect, actually.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of like really think about your turns. That's the thing I was trying to say earlier too, is like, oh, I really have to think about the end of my turn here because I'm actually not going to take damage.
Yeah,
so
there's absolutely a actual thought required here. In Vampire Survivors, it's just like run from enemy bad. Don't get hit.
That's definitely. Like, oh, I have garlic on, so as long as I don't get hit, eventually I win.
Yeah. Garlic here, interestingly, does a disarm effect, which is like pretty sweet for keeping enemies from attacking you.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't hit every time.
Correct.
The proc level is low. But garlic seems to be very good.
I think by the end, my favorites were the Rune Tracer and the Rune Tracer Evolution. What's the birds and the bird evolution?
Pichon?
Yeah. And the cross and the cross evolution. Both of those are very good. Yeah. Have you gotten the gem yet that lets you draw the card first when you shuffle your deck?
What?
Dude, that gem is overpowered.
Sounds good.
Yeah. You gem that card, and then that card is always the first one you draw when your deck gets shuffled. Awesome upgrade.
Yeah, put it on a 0 or something.
Yeah. But yeah, early on, like I said, the strategy I employed was pretty much just like keep your 0s, 1s, and 2s relatively even so that you can always do 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2 every time.
Well, if you know how to mind your P's and Q's, or you know how to manage your 0, 1, 2s, where should you email?
You should send that to podcast@weweregamers.com. You can also get at us on social media and Facebook and Blue Sky at We Were Gamers on both of those. And you should go check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@weweregamers.
I'm sorry, Andy.
I know, dude. I wasn't going to talk about it. Dude, it was so lame. Their goalie is so lucky. If you look on shots on goal, we still had more shots on goal. I don't understand how he's not that good. Hart's this is his like best season. And only in the postseason.
And yet, right?
Yeah. And yet, I mean, it's crazy. His career stats are what? He's got a .92. Our goalie has a .91. It's not I don't know. He was a backup goalie for the last 4 years. He didn't even register a save percentage. I don't understand.
Not all hope is lost, right? They just got to win 2 in a row.
2 in a row in this series is going to be so hard, dude. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I do believe they'll win at home. I don't know about game 7. I don't know about Game 7. Yeah.
It'd be exciting.
Oh, well. I mean, their leading scorer is a rookie. Their goalie is technically, I think, what was expected to be our backup. Mrazek was supposed to be the guy that replaced Gibson. And the Ducks are still rebuilding, I guess. So
I think they're a young team, right?
very young, youngest team on the ice still at this point.
So I think that bodes well for the next few years, right?
As long as they don't let the pieces slip away, right?
And they knocked Henrique and McDavid out of the playoffs, so gotta feel good about that. But it's not over. I don't want to act like it's over, but winning 2 games in a row at this point in the playoffs is really hard. But
right, I mean, it wouldn't be if it was easy, that wouldn't be how this works, right?
Yeah. Just trying to be practical in my hopes. I think they'll win at home though. It'll go to Game 7. But
they got to win. I want to see our
not
teams meet in the finals.
Your team's the dirtiest team I've ever seen play hockey, dude. They are so dirty.
Watching the Knights fight highlights.
The Knights, yeah. The Knights
I mean each game's highlights.
Oh, the Knight. I was gonna say the
Carolina.
Knights had a player ejected tonight. Immediately after a hit, it was a really dirty hit. I wonder if he'll get suspended. He took Paling out of the game immediately. Like, didn't even make it to the ice before they called a penalty, and they were like, "You're ejected."